Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chris here, and today we are going through my top five lists. So far we've done top five cigars, we've done a top five scotch, and now we're going to do a top five bourbon. And same goes with the bourbons as it did with the scotch and cigars. It's going to be something that's relatively easy for people to find, relatively inexpensive, good flavors to it, nothing too harsh, nothing too crazy. And like I said, it's relatively kind of easy to find. There's one that's going to be a kind of a more of a cask strength. There's going to be a few that are up there because bourbon is usually in more on the higher end ABV side of things, 50 or above kind of thing. So there's going to be a few of those. But if you're in bourbon, that's kind of what you expect. So anyway, number five, I don't actually have an example of it. I need to pick it up, but we did have it for our bourbon and barbecue at my place here earlier this summer or the late spring, and it was absolutely incredible. I'll put a picture of it up here, but it's the Baker's number 7. It's in here in Winnipeg. It's $94.99. These are all Canadian prices. The only one that I've done so far that has U.S. prices is the cigars. Everything else, Scotch, bourbon, Canadian whiskey will all be Canadian prices because that's what I'm paying for them. But for the cigars, I'm paying U.S. prices. But anyways, Baker's number 7 is $94.99 here in the city, 53.5% ABV, and it was named after Baker Beam. There's like notes of like caramel, vanilla, burnt brown sugar, dried fruit to it. It was absolutely incredible. So this is a bourbon I've definitely got to pick up. I'm just waiting for it to kind of go on sale because every now and then it will go on sale, and I've seen it on sale a few times. I just haven't picked it up. Didn't realize how good it was until I actually tried it at our bourbon and barbecue. So really nice bourbon. So check that one out. Number 4, this one here is really inexpensive, very good. I couldn't believe how good it was. I actually went out and bought a bottle of it literally the next day after our bourbon and barbecue. When we had it, this particular bourbon came out to the Winnipeg market, and it had been out for about a week. And so thankfully the guys brought it along and included it in it because it was really good. And it was only $43.99 Canadian, so super cheap. 50% ABV on it, and it is the Old Tub. Crazy. I would never thought of buying anything like this because I thought, Old Tub, it's kind of, I don't know, it just, the label on it didn't look great, and the name, I don't know, like it just, but when I tried it, oh my God, this is good. And now I really kind of like the label is very unassuming, but it's really nice stuff, and it's got that old timey looking label to it, very nice, very nice bourbon on this Old Tub. Let's see if I can put it back here for you a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, but this one blew me out of the water. I think this was probably the surprise of the night because it was easily the cheapest, the most unassuming, but had tons and tons of flavors to it, like crazy flavors of and it kind of is a throwback to the 140-year-old whiskey that it was when it first kind of came out. And they want to try to keep it to as true to those beginnings as possible, they said on it, but like lots of like crazy notes of like oak, vanilla, grain, caramel, toasted nuts, sticky like dried fruits to it. Just a really flavorful bourbon, like when this one's done, I'm buying a new one. I'll probably go out and actually get another one here. They say it's a limited release, but I don't think so. It might be a limited release here. I'm not sure, but it's a nice bourbon. If you haven't had a chance to try Old Tub, try it. Don't let the cheap price tag fool you. This is a really nice bourbon. A really, really, really good bourbon. Super solid. Highly, it's a good bourbon. Yeah. Completely surprised me and blew me out of the water when they said, "Oh, Old Tub." Like, yeah, I saw it. It was like $43, $44, or whatever. But yeah, it was definitely the surprise of the night, and it was really, really, really good. Next one we got here, got this when my buddy Dan and I went out to Calgary, picked this up, and the one we had here in Winnipeg at our Bourbon and Barbecue was 61% or 62%. This is 64.5. And I opened this up when my brother and cousin Dave were over for drinking with the Duke. So check that one out. But this is the Jack Daniel's single barrel strength at 64.5% ABV. Paid about $64 for it, I believe it was. Super solid whiskey on this one here. You can see it's about halfway gone. Really, really, really intense and great flavors on it. I've never really been a big JD fan because I used to drink it when I was a kid and I used to throw up all the time on it. Mind you, I was mixing it Jack Daniels and Yukon Jack. They were called Double Jacks. A lot of these older douchers that I would see, hanging around. I think they're probably still doing the same thing they did when they were like 19 and I was like 15. I'm sure they're probably doing the same stuff. Probably I can't see any of those guys maturing anytime soon. But anyway, these guys were drinking that, and I thought, oh, I can have that. I'm gonna be one of the older guys too. And I kept throwing up and getting super sick on it. So I hadn't had any of that stuff in forever. And I saw it, and I thought, well, I should try that out. It looks pretty good. I was getting right into this stuff, so picked up a bottle of it. Waited for my buddy, my brother, and my cousin Dave to show up, because Dave is a massively huge JD guy. Knows everything there is to know about Jack Daniels. He could literally be an ambassador to the brand. He has got so much crazy knowledge when it comes to Jack Daniels. So I was saving it for him, and it turns out it's a very, 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 very nice whiskey. It's lots of vanilla, toasted oak, char, nuts, cream, brown sugar, dark spices to it. You add a little bit of water, and boy, does the flavors come out, like creamy, toasted nuts and like toasted burnt brown sugar, and creme brulee notes to it. So very, 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 very nice whiskey to have for sure. Number 2 on this list. I've had this in the past before, and I've had this just recently as well. And first time I had it, it was really, really, really good. It was really hard to find, so I kind of felt a little bad about opening it. And then every year it seems like it shows up for spirit release, so it's not that hard to find anymore. And you can certainly find it all over the US. So and the last time I had it was for our Bourbon and Barbecue, and this is the Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch. It's about $94 the last spirit release we had here this past winter in November. It's gone up because I believe it was about $83 last year, and when I was buying them, I think I started getting them for about $70. So they've gone up about $25 over the last 2 years. So, but a very, 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 very nice bourbon. Cool box on it. Like this is just a really cool packaging to it. Very slick looking package on it, and the bottle itself is really nice looking as well. Like a really cool looking bottle to it. Flavors are just absolutely insane. It's 50% ABV, and it's bottled in bond. And for all of you that, I'm sure most of you guys know what bottled in bond means, but if you don't, bottled in bond, it's basically it's an aged bottle in accordance to the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897. It must be produced and distilled in one season, so anywhere between January to June or July to December, by one distiller and one distillery, and it needs to be aged in a federal legal bonded warehouse under strict U.S. supervision for at least 4 years, bottled at least at 100 proof, and it must be have the label ID on the bottle for the distillery. So, and the taxes are basically the government's looking for its taxes. But anyway, that's what bottled in bond means anyway. So it's under strict U.S. government regulations of how this is produced. So, and then you can see there's a tax stamp on it as well. So, but a really nice bourbon. It's always a nice one to have, to have in the cellar. Lot of caramel, corn sweetness to it, butterscotch, super nutty, creamy, light spice, and some tobacco box flavors on the back end and in the finish. So just a very nice bourbon. Could have easily made the number one, but it was this guy here that made it. This one here is the easiest of this particular selection to find. They have a bunch of others. I've got quite a few of them. Some of them can be a little harder to find. One is very hard to find, and the secondary market is absolutely insane for it. So that one's obviously not included. So I put the easiest one here to find, but this is the Michter's. Really nice bourbon. Under $100 here for this guy. I believe it was about 99 $95 or something like that. ABV on this one here, let's see, it is, I'll show it to you here. There we go, 41.7% on this one. And yeah, just a really nice and really nice bourbon. It's got a lot of caramel, vanilla, nuts, dried fruit, bit of smoky oak char kind of flavors to it. So just a really nice bourbon here from Michter's, and super smooth, like incredibly smooth. Yeah, so you'll really like this one here as well. So these are all really easy, like I said, easy to find, all under $100, and kind of like that anybody can really kind of enjoy, like this one here, I would say would probably be your best bet for the dollar. It's like $43 Canadian, and the flavors on this is absolutely nuts. So for under $45, you got a really great bourbon there. But any one of these five, I don't have the Bakers, but any one of those ones would be really good, and I think you'd really like any and all of them. So thanks so much for watching. I really truly appreciate it so very much. I hope you guys have a really great Christmas, an awesome New Year. Lots coming up. Yeah, a lot of things coming up. So please like and subscribe to the channel. Share this with anyone that you know that might find some value in it. And take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.